Ho, 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 it's gonna snow. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a winter storm is on the way. Let us all get excited and say hooray. In reality, though, we are gonna be dealing with some stuff this week. Let's just get into it in this Monday evening edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Monday, 6th of January, 2025. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer, along with Moopsy in the background. And yes, we do have the potential for some winter weather mischief over the next several days. We're actually going to have a couple of waves, it looks like. We'll get into that in just a moment. But first, this is what is going to cause this headache for us all, and that is an upper-level storm system that is expected to approach as we get into Wednesday. Now, a few days ago, it looked like this system was going to remain farther to the southwest over Baja California, which would have brought a southerly flow wind to the state of Texas, bringing warmer air back in, keeping us mostly above freezing. Rain chances. Big deal, right? Well, things have changed. Now it looks like we have a pretty good chance of this system actually passing nearby or overhead, which is going to allow a surface low to spin up in the Gulf of Mexico near the Texas Gulf Coast, and keep the cold air in place, preventing much southerly wind from returning. Thus, we go from cold rain, some storms, to, hey, guess what? It's going to snow. So, ho, ho, ho. Isn't it so much fun? Now, let's talk about what we're expecting with the precursor event tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night to Wednesday morning. It looks like we may have a quick round of light snow across portions of the Panhandle, West Texas, as we get into Wednesday morning, with some rain showers down in deep South Texas, the Rio Grande Valley. We do note this model is trying to spit out some freezing drizzle and drizzle across the hill country, central Texas, Wednesday morning. That's something we're going to watch very carefully for as we get into the next 18 to 24 hours, as that would require a revision to the forecast. And, freezing drizzle may not deposit more in a thin layer of ice, but, well, thin layers of ice on roads don't do well. So we're going to keep an eye on that. That's going to be round one. And here is the forecast snow totals for round one, specifically for the Panhandle, West Texas. West Texas specifically, half-inch to maybe an inch and a half to 2 inches of snow. Overall impacts, low. Snow will accumulate on roads, but it'll be a dry, powdery snow, so it'll blow off pretty easily with any rain. But this best chance of snow will be on the Cap Rock, including places like Denver City, Loveland, Lubbock, Muleshoe, with a lighter chance up to maybe an inch of snow off the Cap Rock up into western portions of the Panhandle. Now, that's wave one, precursor event. What happens as we get into Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, into Thursday? Well, if I had actually shown you the correct image, guess what? This isn't it. Here we go. Here's the correct animation, showing basically the same thing, just in a prettier format. You can see we're expecting the possibility now of maybe some light winter mix, light snow, as soon as early Wednesday afternoon or late Wednesday morning. Hill country, central Texas, maybe the northern Brazos Valley, Concho Valley. That is something we're going to refine tonight into tomorrow morning, and we'll try to be more articulate and specific in the timing on that, since freezing drizzle would be problematic for travel. But the main round of heavier precipitation is expected Wednesday night into Thursday morning to Thursday afternoon. Permian Basin, Concho Valley, Big Country, North Texas, Central Texas, the Brazos Valley, with, precipitation technically into Southeast Texas, East Texas, the Arklatex, Northeast Texas, and Texoma. This model specifically showing the freezing line generally bisecting portions of the hill country, Central Texas, the northern Brazos Valley, into Northeast Texas, with pretty much all snow expected. The Big Country, Northwest Texas, Texoma, North Texas, Northeast Texas. South of that, we're going to have that winter mix transition zone where we may have sleet and snow, or sleet and freezing rain, or just freezing rain, and then south of that, just rain, cold rain. Houston, Corpus Christi, Laredo, no winter issues, rain. Probably Beaumont up to Lufkin, rain. Austin, just north of Bryan College Station, we're going to be iffy here. We're going to be flirting with the freezing line. We're going to have to watch that. This is where we're going to have some fluctuations where that freezing line could waffle north and south, and exactly where it ends up is going to dictate whether or not Austin ends up with a cold rain and maybe some icy bridges and overpasses, or are we going to end up with full-on winter storm? You can see this model try is real close with that. DFW, for all intent and purposes, you're donezo at this point unless something changes. You're going to be in on the big winter storm. We're talking several inches of snow, hazardous travel conditions, Thursday continuing into Friday morning. Same thing for the big country. Same thing for San Angelo in the Concho Valley. Same thing for parts of the Permian Basin. Same thing for Wichita Falls. Same thing for I-35 from DFW all the way up through Oklahoma City, if not towards, Guthrie and Stillwater, Oklahoma. It's going to snow. Same thing for Paris, Texarkana. And you can see some of this is going to be quite heavy snow at times. This is not going to be a light snow for the duration of the event. This could have introduced the prospect for some thunder snow at times. Exactly where that's going to happen, that is still up in the air. But we are going to throw out some accumulation maps now. Now, let me start off with freezing rain. This is the current mean, the 50th percentile, meaning there is a 50% chance we end up with more than this, but there's also a 50% chance we end up with less than this. As we get into tomorrow, the high resolution guidance, we'll start throwing out some maps that are higher resolution and provide a glance as to where we could see higher totals of both freezing rain and sleet along with snow. But for now, we're still talking 3 days out plus. Typically, we can't even do this until we're within 24 hours in Texas because it's usually just cold air and time events where the cold air is not in place, but it's coming on in right as the precipitation ends. Well, in this case, we're going to have the cold air in place, though the question exactly where that surface freezing line is going to be in the hill country, central Texas, the Brazos Valley, East Texas, is debatable. If the storm system we're talking about here, and again, I'll go back to that graphic real quick. If this storm system tracks a little further north, that is going to allow warmer air to come further north, pushing the rain snow line north. Vice versa, if it stays further southeast or south, that'll pull colder air farther south, but that'll also drag some of the precipitation chances farther south. So there's still things we have to work out here, but for being 72 hours in advance, confidence is unusually high at this stage of the game for a pretty impactful winter storm across several regions of Texas. So at this point, the highest probability for accumulating freezing rain, the hill country especially, but I do caution you, we could easily see a trace of freezing rain, even if it's only 100th to 200ths of an inch, extend into parts of Austin, central Texas, even the Brazos Valley, even parts of East Texas. And that'll be something we watch for, especially if we have that precursor round of light drizzle on Wednesday afternoon and as we go into Thursday. So keep an eye on that, but this is where confidence of freezing rain is highest right now. Do not be surprised if we see some yellow starting to creep into this map in future updates, central Texas, the Brazos Valley. Now, here is the snowfall forecast. And again, this is going to be the mean 50th percentile. Cut it right in half. There's a 40-50% chance we end up with higher than this. There's a 40-50% chance we end up with lower than this. As we get into tomorrow, we'll start to kick out actual higher resolution maps showing where we could see, corridors of maybe higher snowfall totals. And we'll be able to refine this. But for now, this is a good first call guess showing where we could see it's the most likely solution for now. As you can see, this does drop, a dusting, a 1/10 of an inch up to an inch of snow. Places like Del Rio, northern Bexar County, up through Austin, Brazos Valley, Lufkin, points north, could see, at least at times, a winter mix, supporting light accumulations of snow and or sleet. As we go farther north, here is North Texas, parts of the Big Country, the Arklatex. At this point, snowfall totals from Highway 67, Brownwood, Stephenville, going up through Granbury, DFW, northeast up I-30, Texarkana, 2 to 4 inches of snow. And it is entirely possible those will be increased as time goes on. Right now, this blend is showing the highest snow totals, 5 to 7 inches of snow, roughly from near Ballinger to Abilene to Graham to Bowie and Wichita Falls to Gainesville. And again, there is going to be a corridor in here. Someone's going to get a lot more snow than just 2 to 4 inches, most likely. Places like Wichita Falls, Sherman, Paris, we're looking at 3 to 5 inches of snow. Same thing, honestly, for the DFW Metroplex at this point, 2 to 5 inches of snow, with the potential at least 30 to 40% that we end up with over 6 inches of snow. Paris, same thing. Texarkana, generally 2 inches of snow right now. Tyler, 1 to 2 inches. Now, let's keep going west. Here's the Permian Basin, the Trans-Pecos, the borderland, western parts of Texas, Concho Valley, Big Country. Alpine, Fort Stockton, Midland, the potential for, at this point, 3 to 6 inches of snow. San Angelo, 3 to 6 inches of snow. Abilene, Graham, like I said, 3 to 7 inches of snow. El Paso, you're going to get snow. It looks like maybe a couple waves, but this generally encompasses the period from Wednesday afternoon through Friday morning. So there may be some snow Tuesday evening, but this is what we expect going into Wednesday, Thursday. And it'll start out here first, since, well, farther west begins first. Maybe, 1 to 2 inches of snow. El Paso, higher amounts in the higher terrain. At this point, this would result in snow accumulations on Interstate 10 from El Paso to the Pecos area, or west of Pecos, and then I-10 and I-20 through the Trans-Pecos, down up into the Davis Mountains, into parts of the Concho Valley and Hill Country, and then I-20 could have, difficult conditions all the way from the I-10 split through at least Tyler, if not a bit farther east. You can see at this point, even looking at snow accumulations up into Lubbock. Here's a look up into the Panhandle. You can see we're looking overall the potential for 2 to 4 inches of snow, maybe locally higher. South Plains, the Rolling Plains, West Texas, Northwest Texas, while snow totals up in the Panhandle, northern parts of the Panhandle, 1/2 inch to 2 inches along the north of Interstate 20, south of Interstate 40, south of Interstate 40, 1 to 4 inches of snow possible. And again, this is a blend of data, the most likely solution for now. This means there's a chance this is going to go up, there's a chance this is going to go down, and I guarantee you there will be refinements to this as we go on. But I just wanted to throw out the first guess and say, northwestern half, northwestern 60% of the state, guess what? It's going to snow. And we're going to have travel impacts. The clear message here is, regardless of what the totals end up evolving into over the next few days, we're going to be cold. We're cold now. We're going to stay cold through the event, meaning surface infrastructure is going to support accumulations instantaneously, meaning, yeah, we're going to have a plowable snow, probably the northwestern half to the northwestern 60% of the state. Southeast of that, we're going to have some freezing rain and sleet mix in, so we're going to have to deal with a bit of ice. At this point, we're not looking at a crippling ice storm. Nothing that would suggest, damage to the power infrastructure from ice. But, it only takes a 100th of an inch of ice to turn bridges, roads, etc. into skating rinks. So, that's why you're seeing TxDOT out and about putting brine down on the roads to try to counteract that, keep the freezing point lower, and allow for, roads not to instantly turn to skating rinks. Snow, at some point, we're going to have heavy enough snow, it's just going to stick to everything regardless, and it's just going to have to switch from, sanding and brine treatments to plowing. So that's going to be, at this point, Wednesday night through Thursday. Some roads, especially the northwestern half of the state, are not going to improve until we get into Friday afternoon, when the sun will come out, will start melting. But we're going to go back in the teens and 20s Friday night, so that's going to freeze back up into a solid ice rink again. And then Saturday, we'll all be in the 40s, 50s. South Texas will be in the 60s. That's when we'll really start to melt this stuff out. But, we may even have some spots of black ice refreeze Saturday night. So that is the expectation. We could have issues as soon as Wednesday afternoon. But the most probable time frame for this, Wednesday night, Thursday. Precip moves out Friday morning, probably. But things are going to stay slick and dicey, probably until, maybe a few hours Friday afternoon, refreezes Friday night, and then Saturday, we're done, hopefully. So that is the expectations as of Monday afternoon. They're going to change. and we'll refine the forecast, but I would expect a plethora of winter storm watches to go out tonight or Tuesday morning to encompass probably the northwestern half to the northwestern 60% of the state. Northwest of a line from, let's just go with just north of Del Rio, Austin, College Station, towards Lufkin. If data suggests that storm track is going to trend a little further southeast tonight, may even go farther south than that. If it trends north, well, we'll pull it away from Austin, pull it away from Del Rio, pull it away from College Station, up towards probably, maybe Waco, to closer to Tyler. We'll see. Truly, that's what we're going to have to do. We'll see. But that's our best first guess for now, and that'll do. Because we'll have more data coming in tonight. We'll keep updates coming, and we'll have your next Texas Weather Roundup out bright and early Tuesday with the latest and what I will assume will be a number of winter storm watches. So you can get your local weather forecast down to your neighborhood with the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. That 7-day forecast you see there, that comes from the National Weather Service digital grid. So that's their forecasts. And interactive weather radar. That's going to be a little helpful as we go into the next few days, since you'll be able to track the winter weather, and we'll have these daily, well, at this point, multiple per day weather forecast updates coming out. So that's it. We'll talk to you all again tomorrow morning, unless something necessitates an update this evening. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to get notified when we publish new videos, and we appreciate all the nice words, comments, etc. So that's it. We stayed under 20 minutes this time. Doubt I'm doing that tomorrow morning. Y'all have a great rest of your Monday evening. God bless.